Like, at what point did you know that it was Austin Drummond?
Well, I don't know how to explain, but I mean, it was like I had the feeling from the beginning that it was him.
He's the man who called 911 and led police to quadruple murder suspect Austin Drummond. He joined me to talk about what the moment was like when he knew he was making the phone call that would put a week-long manhunt that put Tennessee on alert to rest. We're on the case presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Ricardo Contreras did not know when he woke up yesterday morning that a short time later, he would be making the phone call that would bring one of Tennessee's most wanted into custody. Also, Contreras told me in our conversation that his wife actually knew Austin Drummond. There's a lot to unpack here. Before I get into our conversation and the new details I learned in that interview, I want to bring you some information that we have since yesterday related to Austin Drummond and his arrest. First off, take a look at his new booking photo as he is now in custody in Madison County, Tennessee. When you see this booking photo, you can just see the exhaustion and frankly defeat in his eyes. Tomorrow, he is expected to make his first court appearance in Lake County, Tennessee. Lake County is where he will be arraigned on charges of killing these four family members last week. Their names: Matthew Wilson, Adriana Williams, Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams. Braden was just 15 years old. Drummond is accused of shooting and killing these four people. Drummond is also facing a charge for allegedly abandoning Matthew and Adriana's baby in front of a house in Dyer County, Tennessee, after allegedly killing those four family members. The other connections to this baby of the victims: Rose was the baby's grandmother and Braden was the baby's uncle. Police are now officially saying what the official connection is between Drummond and these victims. We knew it was through family, but they gave us specifics yesterday. They say it was through his girlfriend. So Drummond is now accused of killing his girlfriend's mom, her sister, her brother, and her sister's boyfriend, the father of that baby. Police say that Drummond hid out in a vacant building for days as police searched for him, and WREG is reporting that that vacant building was actually a pool house in Jackson, Tennessee. And not far from that pool house is where yesterday morning you had workers who were painting a home and they had just heard something out in the woods. Ricardo Contreras says he felt something in his gut that he needed to call police because with a city that was on edge, in many ways, on lockdown, why would someone be walking through the woods? Well, he made that phone call. Authorities arrived, they found Austin Drummond, and they brought him into custody. I spoke to Contreras, who went back to work that day after everything happened. We spoke to him after he got home, and I talked to him about what he saw, how his wife actually knew Austin Drummond, and whether he thinks he will get the more than $37,000 in reward money put up by law enforcement in Tennessee. Here's our conversation. Walk us through, what happened this morning?
Okay, so we was working painting on the outside of the house in that subdivision, and one of my guys he told me like, "Hey, there is somebody back there walking in the middle of the wood," and I was like, "Somebody?" I was like, "It's that guy. Who else can be walking in the middle of the wood? Just him." And at some point, I was like, well, they asked me like, "Are you gonna call the police?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I don't want to get in trouble with all this thing." But after 5 or 6 seconds, I was like, "No, I had to do the right thing. I had to call the police." So I immediately called the police, and I told them about this guy, and they get there like in a second.
At what point did you know that it was Austin Drummond?
Well, I don't know how to explain, but it was like I had the feeling from the beginning that it was him because yesterday I was in that area, and when I came out from that subdivision, I saw a police with a light, and when I came out to the street, they got already blocked all the intersection in the streets. So and they've been working really hard. all day yesterday, and I think part of the night, and they can't get him. So I knew it was him because uh, who else can be? But at some point, I was like, oh no. I mean, I just make a big thing because police move really fast, and it was a helicopter, police officer everywhere, SWAT team, FBI, TVI. Everybody got there in a second. So, but something told me like it's him, and it was.
Austin Drummond, as we've been reporting, is a career criminal who was out of prison for less than a year at the time of his arrest this week. We put his name into Truth Finder at the beginning when we first learned about Austin Drummond, and we saw that criminal record. He spent a decade in prison related to a 2013 robbery of a convenience store, and that shows up on Truth Finder. Truth Finder is a big tool for us here at Law&Crime. It helps us learn information on the people who we are covering in our stories, but even if you don't work in true crime, it can be an excellent resource to give you peace of mind. It's one of the largest public record search services in the US, and with the paid subscription service, you get access to unlimited reports about almost anyone. And by the way, right now, you can get 50% off your first month of confidential background reports. Just go to truthfinder.com/OTC. What emotionally, knowing that you were looking at, I mean, he's accused of, as we know, like some really evil things, and to know that you and your team kind of had eyes on him. What was that like?
Well, you know what? I'm a Catholic Christian, and I believe in God and all that. And the feeling is, I think God have us on part of this plan. Let me tell you why. Because when I saw the police start coming from the other gate, I went back to open the gate, the back gate, which is only be open with a remote, and I had the remote. And when I got there was one police officer in the car, and she came in, and when she pulled the windows down, I immediately knew that she speak Spanish. So when I saw that, I feel like it's this guy because I had no doubts, and I start speaking in Spanish with her, and I tell her where he was and everything, and so like 15 or 20 minutes after that, somebody called me and tell me like it was him, they got him, and so it's amazing, and I think it's just I mean it's like a it's like a God believer. I think it's just him which been doing all this.
What was that moment like for you when you were told that your gut to call police was right and that was him?
Well, that moment for me, it was I was nervous. I wasn't like I would say I was in shock because the first thing, I mean, after I called the police, I called one of my uh, customer or my boss who lives in that area, and I called him to lock all the doors and everything. And I was like, I was nervous, but believe it or not, I had like the feeling like that I need to be there helping to the police and SWAT team to get him because it feels like you are with your hands tied on your back and you can do anything else. But they told me like go inside, and I went inside to the house. So it was, I mean, it just was like. I mean, I don't know. I don't have words to describe that moment, really.
Was there anything about him that stood out to you? Just from like, I mean, we've all seen the pictures, and he was, I know in Jackson, I mean, everybody knew who they were looking for, but to kind of in that moment actually see him.
Well, not really. If I be honest, um, I didn't realize that it was him until I start looking all the media, the social media, and people start texting to me, send me message and all that. But I realized that just that it was him right after probably like 30 minutes or 20 minutes after they caught him.
And I know we were talking before we started recording. Jackson, a small town in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows everybody, and he was known to at least a member of your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is in a small town, and I had the opportunity to stay here since 2000, the end of 2011 or something like that. I met my wife right here in Jackson, and last week we went for a vacation to Florida, to Destin actually, and I was the first on the family that is saw the news, and I talked to her like, look at this. This has just happened close to Jackson, and she was like, she was in shock because she said, I went to school with him, like elementary school. He went to St. Mary's Catholic Church for a few years. And that's what I know because my wife told me that. And appeared like he was a good guy, but he took a wrong decision on his life probably, and so I didn't know him particularly, but my wife did, and she was so sad about it. But after police got him, we feel better because he's gonna be joining for you know people here. But I hope he can think about all what he got done in the last few days. So, but no, I don't know him personally, but it's like I say, it's funny because my wife went to school with him.
I know that there was, as of today, the reward was more than $37,000 for information leading to his arrest. Have police said anything to you about how that could work out since you were the one? And I know members on your team as well who were part of spotting him, of how that could work out and whether you guys would get that
Well, you know what? I just had the opportunity to talk with someone who's a U.S. Marshal something. Um, he told me something about that, but to be honest with you, at this point, I don't know about anything about the reward. I just got the feeling that I did the right thing, and if that is true, and if they keep that word or whatever, I assume they're gonna call me or something. But I didn't make any call about asking about the reward or anything. Um, I think at this point is more important. I mean, it's more important for me that I am with my family. I'm okay, and I got all those messages from people that they've been telling me thank you, and tell me all that kind of like kind and nice stuff. So I don't know about that yet. So it just happened this morning. I don't know if that's gonna be a um, you know possible or not, or they're gonna make it happen. But it's all in their hand right now.
and I understand after all of this happened, you continued to work today. You worked a full
Well,
day.
actually, right after they got him, I took my truck and I came out, and the lady who owns the house we've been working, she came out and said, "Hey, hey, wait a minute! They need to know you are the one that you called the police." Because at that moment, the most important thing to me is I take my truck, hook the trailer, get all the materials that I need to get the work or the jobs that I need to get done. And so there was somebody right there who took the video and everything. And but yeah, I mean, I've been working the whole day today.
Wow. I think a lot of us, after having such an eventful start to the day, might take the rest of the day off, and you kept going. I mean, the video that was first posted with, kind of that initial interview you gave, and your name is now kind of across the internet of people thanking you for being the one who called the police. What is it like at this point with how many people are reaching out to you and all the people that are really thanking you for kind of trusting your gut and making that phone call?
Well, there's a lot of people that has been texting me by Facebook, personal phone, a lot of people, and there is few of them that they just kind of like tell me like, be careful. They probably coming for you because he was a part of a game and all that. But you know what? I'm not as scared about that because I was involved in something like this before. Like 5 years ago, I got stolen from somebody pointed me with a gun here in Jackson area, and believe it or not, I chased the people, and I found it. I found where they live, and I called the police, and they got them. And it was a gang who used to do. The target for that gang was Latin people, Latin community, because what the police officer told me was like, uh, because we are Latin, they know we're not gonna call the police or we're not gonna do anything, and so I mean, take advantage of all that. So that happened to me 5 years ago, and I chased them. Like I say, I found it, and they are in jail right now. And so I'm kind of like, I'm not really afraid about that, but it's still, about I got two kids and my wife, so that's the only concern, probably, and the fact that all everything is like all this happened around the Spanish community, with immigrants and all that. I just want to say we're not like, we're not bad people. I don't say probably there is few, that is making some trouble, but like in my personal you know, live and testimony, I would say I came here to work hard, to work really hard, and to make this country better. This country is already great, and I just working to make this country, a lot better. I love this country. It's my house. It's my house. I can tell this is my house. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to keep this country in a good shape, and my Spanish community too.
Well, that's just so well put, and to think of the story of the past of what you went through 5 years ago, and then this time, I mean, to just be the person who's unafraid and called the police and did the right thing. I know you were on vacation for in Florida for kind of the beginning of when this manhunt started, but even today, getting up, going to work, knowing the danger was out there. I'm sure you saw the surveillance video where he had like a gun and he was trying to get into a church. I mean, what has it been like to be in Jackson, Tennessee over the last several days as this manhunt was going on?
Well, I think everybody was scared around the Jackson area, especially in that area when he been all these couple days. Uh, my kids, they are 6 and 4 years old. They don't have access to social media unless they hear people talking about that. And it was funny because yesterday I was like, we have on our work we have a kind of like a group message and all that, and I was telling them like, let's get our flashlights or headlights and let's get that bad guy, and nobody answered. And so that last night, my oldest, the last 4 nights, I mean, the last 3 nights they've been sleeping with us, and they was scared, and we are kind of like far away from that area, and I can imagine all those people who lives around that was really scared because the last thing that I know, it was that he's been sleeping in a pool house in that
Yeah.
area. And so do you see like, can you imagine, I mean, I can't imagine how the people, I mean, all that people is being scared and is being kind of like thinking about they are in a risk or something like that. So everyone who's texting me now, they telling me like they can sleep better tonight.
What does that mean to you, knowing that so many people in Jackson tonight are going to sleep? There's that kind of sigh of relief knowing that he's no longer walking the streets as he
Oh, it's
was
mean
for
a lot. Yeah, it's mean a lot because it made me feel like I've been part of something huge. Because you can realize how big all this thing over here in Jackson until you got in there, and it's mean a lot. It made me feel proud of myself, and it made me feel like I did something good for the community here in Jackson.
Well, Ricardo Contreras, thank you for making that phone call this morning. It's an honor to speak to you. I know so many people in Jackson are so thankful you made that phone call as well. Thank you for joining us on Law and Crime. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for everything, and I appreciate it.
So again, tomorrow we are expecting to see Austin Drummond in court. He will be arraigned on charges including 4 counts of murder. It's important to note that Drummond has not been a free man for long. He served more than a decade in prison related to an armed robbery in 2013. One, by the way, he only got away with $44, but he was sentenced to more than a decade in prison. He served the full thing. He had only been out of prison for less than a year. He got out in September 2024. It also still blows my mind, and this is why I'm showing you these pictures again, that he posted these on Facebook while he was serving time in prison. Pictures that show him drinking alcohol, playing video games, and another one he seems to be holding multiple cell phones. I will say yesterday, when police were asked about where Drummond is and how he will be held moving forward, it seemed that they were aware of this, and they also hinted at things being very different for Drummond this time around if he is in fact found guilty. At the time of the murders last week, Drummond also was out on a $30,000 bond as he is charged with attempted murder for an incident that happened while he was in prison. It's unclear how that case will play out, considering Drummond is now facing far more serious charges. 4 people have also been charged with allegedly helping Drummond after the murders. They are all being held without bond. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.